beautiful singers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, nice seeing you, meeting you. My name is Natalia and I am a holistic voice teacher, which means I help people like you transforming their voices and their life along the way. And I'm also a professional crossover singer. Now I'm going to talk about a very highly requested topic, and this is kind of a continuation of my video that I did about how not have our voices crack when we sing. And one of the things that came up is the Passagio. And if you heard this term and you have no idea what does that mean, first of all, it comes from the Italian word passage. And we're specifically going to address in this video, in this tutorial, about the transition between our chest voice primarily to our head voice. This is where what we call the sweet spot, where there's the few 3, 4, 5 sometimes notes that are kind of in between and they don't know where to go, either the chest, either the head, and it's kind of in a really weird placement where it just kind of either cracks, loses the focus of this sound, and just doesn't work. So just know you're not alone. And if you want to hear what I do with my students and what kind of the tips that I have for you, please keep on watching and also hit the subscribe so you can get more videos like this. And if you have a special request of what you want me to talk about or address about or give you ideas and exercises, go ahead and comment them in the section down below. And if you're singers, this is the time to be part of my free 7-day vocal challenge, which I'm gonna address all those things, Passagio, high notes, chest voice, all those things for the next 7 days. So go ahead and click the first link so it directs you to my website, and I'll send you the free challenge to your inbox. So the trick about the Passagio, first of all, every singer is different. You can be a baritone, and there's all this information out there in books and websites everywhere about what usually is the typical Passagio for baritones or for sopranos or for tenors or whatever. In my philosophy, in my teaching, I don't like to classify people into sections and put them in a little box and, give them the only specific songs that they're fach. I don't believe in that. I do believe that every person is individual and special, and their voice is unique, and you will have a different Passagio. You will have those notes where are gonna feel not chesty, not too head voice, and you kind of don't know what to do with them. So first of all, you're not alone. You're definitely in your beginner kind of journey of becoming a singer, and that's totally fine. We've all been there, and it's so important to address them correctly. So this is why I'm making this video. So first of all, you have to remember that we want to have a really solid chest voice. We want to know what is good chest voice. We want to be able to sing head voice correctly, right? If you have a good voice teacher, it will put you in the right step-by-step kind of journey to really walk your voice and explore your voice in different registers. Now, when we kind of combining the registers, those kind of, I would say, I'm talking about half notes, 4 to 5 kind of notes, they're kind of feeling a little bit weird. If we could extend them to the chest voice and it's gonna sound a little too forced, or if you're going complete to the head voice, it sounds with kind of like lacking that color and lacking that power to the voice. And therefore we're kind of using the kind of unison of their sound from to the bottom of the sound all the way to the higher sound of our voice. So the one thing you want to remember is keeping your Passagio notes lighter, lighter, lighter. This is the most important thing you have to remember. You don't want to over deliver them by using too much air, to kind of projecting them too much. You want to keep that space, that kind of what we call I wouldn't say lifting your kind of soft pelvic, but just to keep that a little bit of that lift. I love the word lift, because when you think about lift, right away something in you kind of, you feel that a little difference. So you're not as much in that sound. You keep a little bit of the lift, so whatever other notes are following that, they have the room to expand to the higher frequencies and get there much easier. So this is very important. Remember, Passagio is a narrow kind of, you would call it, if your voice was an hourglass. If your voice was an hourglass, right? Think about it. So it starts with the bottom of your chest voice and kind of go narrowing from that passaggio all the way to the head voice, right? So this little transition, remember, this is a narrow, much more delicate than you think. And you're gonna get actually more preciseness of your sound if you're gonna keep it narrow, if you're gonna keep it a little bit with that lift that I told you about. And I'll teach you exercises that are really gonna help you to make sure you're not gonna lose the focus, because the focus of the sound is what makes the sound to sound unified. Now in my vocal method, I'm all about vowel alignment. Because remember, your voice shines through your vowels. You will sing, your voice will come out from your vowels, from the ah, the e, the e, the oo, not from the consonants. And to make sure your vowels are aligned in the passaggio especially, it will be tremendous helpful. So this is what I'm gonna show you. This is the first exercise. So you want to start in the middle of your range, whatever you feel. It's not too low, it's not already up there, and work yourself up very gently. So what we're going to do, and again, every song is different, so the passaggio kind of appears in many different hats and costumes. Sometimes it's just kind of like sneaking into it, meaning it's kind of going half step, sometimes it goes stepwise, sometimes just goes right into the passaggio. So we're gonna do kind of 3 exercises to really kind of direct the passaggio and those notes from different angles, so we can really feel how they actually connected to one another. Another thing that I want to mention also, that we want to keep them narrow, we want to keep that lift, is also make sure we're not disconnecting the notes. So even the passaggio, more than ever, you don't want to disconnect it from the previous and the following note. This is very, very important. Therefore, the kind of exercise that we're gonna do is gonna be sliding from note to note and really seeing how mentally, even think about it, when you're thinking about those notes, you never want to think higher. And you know that. We now talked about how to sing high notes. Don't ever think high, low. We talked about it. And if you don't know, go ahead and look how your vocal cords look like when you sing. They're just closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, just stretching if that's a higher note, and they're compressing when there's a lower note. But they're keeping the same kind of vibration. They're not going physically higher or lower. So the fact you're thinking like that is not helping you. You want to keep those vocal cords kind of doing their job, and what do you need to do? So keep that breath support, keep that easy posture, keeping those resonating chambers work for you. This is the secret, okay? So let's go to the middle voice, and we'll go from ooh to ah, to oh. And this is also very important to remember when we do passaggio. It's also important to remember we're gonna do a little bit of alteration on the vowel. We're not gonna completely change them, but we wanna open a little bit the space, just a little bit, so we can really give that lift that we talk about, okay? So we're just gonna go from 1 to 3 and from 3 to 1, from ooh, and sliding our way. So it's gonna sound like this. Ooh. One more time. Ooh. Now you try. There you go. Nice. So that was, if you felt you kind of forcing the top note, just be lighter and gentle. Remember, it's light, it's narrow, and keep that same space. Don't do anything extra for that all sound, right? Just keep it, place that all exactly where the ooh is, and think like that in one line, kind of one note. It's just a different note, but it's exactly the same note. So you don't think higher and you do anything specific and special for that. So that was that. And this is, again, this is for my voice. This is where my voice, kind of the passaggio did for me. But again, for you might be different. So you have to adjust it to whatever works for you. And again, working with a voice teacher would be ideal. The second exercise that I want to share with you guys is, instead of going from low, high, high, low, we're actually going to go right to the top and slide our way back down. So it's going to sound like this. And again, you want to start kind of in the middle. You don't want to start too high. You want to kind of warm your voice up to the passaggio, okay? So same thing. We're going to go from and keep that ooh, all type of sound together, meaning put a little bit of spice in that ooh, okay? So it has that lift in it. Think like a siren. Keep going. Good. Nice. Last one. Nice. How'd that feel? Does it feel interesting? But again, it's gonna take time and practice to really make sure you're comfortable with that. And again, less is more. So if you feel you're forcing it, just let it go. And remember, it's more letting go and more not forcing than anything else. Now, our third and last exercise actually will be a little bit different. It's gonna be more focusing on their half steps. If those two exercises didn't work for you, this one will definitely will. I really recommend to do it even if you're advanced, because it really makes the sound tighter and more compact and more free, kind of more resonating. And that's what we want in the passaggio, is to make the voice a little bit more focused. Some people call it nasally, some people don't. It's not more about placing the sound, it's just gonna go there. That's what I don't like to tell people. Place the sound anywhere, because it's just gonna go there naturally. But we wanna help that by allowing to go where it should go. But one of the things I really like to do is doing the half steps. Again, we're going from ooh to all, and we're gonna explore those half steps. So it's gonna sound like this. Kind of spooky, right? And make sure you're releasing your tongue and your jaw, but you're keeping those lips projecting, but you're keeping everything else kind of loose, okay? Let's continue. Keep going. Let's go down a little bit. Last one. So there you go, guys. A little bit of kind of introduction to the passaggio and some exercises that I know that will change my life and change my sound, and definitely my students, and I know and I hope it would change yours and help you kind of open your eyes to something a little bit different. So remember, it's keeping that light, it keep that narrow, it keep that place with more kind of direction rather than just kind of detaching. You want to keep that consistent and keep that sound connected to the previous and the following sound, and really make sure you're not detaching from that. That's the most important thing. So again, if you have more questions, I'm always here for you. So let me know in the comment section below what was helpful, what was maybe you need a little bit more help with. If you're interested to be part of my vocal studio, all the information is on my website. And definitely, if you want to be part of my 7-day free vocal challenge, go ahead and also click the first section, the first link in the description bar below. And let me know what else you want to hear from me, what else you want me to talk about. I'm more than happy to do it for you guys. I love you. Keep singing. Never stop dreaming, guys. I believe in you. And I'll see you in our next video. Bye.